on the front page, Saturday's paper. You've got another article in the paper doing that this week. Whose job is it? And is the Hillary Clinton team right when they complain about this double standard? They say, well, voters think she's dishonest, in part because the media hasn't done its job calling out the dishonesty of Donald Trump.
It's not the media's job to run a campaign against Donald Trump, and I think that is where we're getting into the nub of what the Clinton campaign argument is. I heard Robbie Mook earlier saying, essentially, this will be unfair if, and I think that when a campaign sounds like it is complaining that often, that's not a winning posture. I think it is the media's job to point out where there is an absence of facts, and in the case of the word lie, as we applied it to Donald Trump a week ago, if you're not going to say a lie about saying that the President of the United States is not a citizen, then I don't know when else the word would apply. And so everything is not a lie, but I do think that Trump represents a unique challenge for reporters, and I think that is really important to remember. It is a blizzard of things that he puts out.
The hard part is that when I used to watch Westerns with my grandfather when I was a kid, and he's like that classic character who sells potions in a town, and by the time you realize you still have the gout, he's on to the next town, and you can never hold him accountable. And that's the tough part. People have to zero in on the one or two things that really matter about Donald Trump. Hillary's job may be to do that at the debate, zero in and not let him off the mat, really go at it.
But yet people see Donald Trump as more honest than Hillary Clinton.
That is a false
well, excuse me, but the point being that when he says things like, Americans in our cities are in the worst shape ever, he speaks in hyperbole because in today's media culture, that's how you get attention. And by the way, if you're living in a city that's crime-ridden and your kids are failing in school, for you, this is the worst time
You think most people buy that?
I think most people understand what he's saying, and that is that things ought to be, we don't have to settle for the way things are now, that the cities, our inner cities especially, and these are little islands of poverty and despair, and more of the same is failing those people, and we need to do something about it. So yes, I think people understand what he's saying.
I think the president called him out pretty well. I mean, what did Trump say? That African Americans are living in the worst times that they've experienced? Yeah. I mean, an 8-year-old would say, what about slavery?
So I think, but I think what Maggie said, doesn't always speak
talking
literally.
About salesmen, we've talked on the show about media malpractice. There are different media in this country. David Fahrenthold at the Washington Post is doing remarkable work exposing Donald Trump's university, the charity. But I think the role of journalism is to call out lies. I think this country went to war in Iraq because a media failed to do just that. And it has been, and so Trump poses unique challenges, but we've been there before, and I do think the role of media...
There's a difference between whether the media has been calling Trump out consistently, which I think the media has done much more of than you are allowing
in the last few months.
No, I disagree with that, and whether voters care, and whether it is bothering voters.
But Maggie, there's a difference between the New York Times and cable TV, and let's be honest, what's happened to our media on cable TV, and it is acknowledged now, I think, there is a conflict between media as a profit center and media as a factual reporting, truth-telling institution.
Partisans of each side want the media to become their campaign.
It's not a left-right thing.
Wait, I'm just saying that when you have this conversation, the partisans want the media to become their arm of their campaign. Ultimately, this campaign is going to be decided by Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The media is not going to determine the result of this. I think the biggest failing so far in the last 2 weeks is the fact that we have only 2 candidates sitting. As I agree with Gary Johnson. He's on 50 ballots. He's polling better than Ross Perot did.
He's not polling better than Ross Perot.
He's polling better than Ross Perot did when Ross Perot got back in the race in '92 in the summertime. And when you take a look at this race, and the fact that the debate commission, which is stacked by the 2 political parties, rigged this in such a way that they can't get on stage, it doesn't help the country.
The debates used to be run by the League of Women Voters. You get this commission, and the campaigns come in and bully it. And I think we do need a debate with the third-party candidates who rise to 2 or 5%. However, as Bernie Sanders said to me in a Nation interview, this is not a year for a protest vote.
Well,
that is a broader...
This is not it. There's too much at stake. We're talking about Mark Cuban and Jennifer Flowers getting invited by the campaigns and not Gary Johnson?
No, there should be a debate with the third-party candidates because you need those ideas in our bloodstream.
Well, but there should be a debate about it. There should be a debate about the fact that we've got American cities right now with people on the streets who are literally trying to burn them down, and nobody's really talking about that in the context of the debate. And frankly, the Clinton campaign could do more to plant their feet on that issue and really set it out. But Gary Johnson talked about it today.
Just about out of time. I want to go around the table. Will there be a winner tomorrow night? If so, who will it be?
No.
Who defines winner? Debates should not be duels.
There'll be a winner. I think Hillary Clinton's going to come out of this debate and she's going to take this sort of solid 4 or 5 point lead that she had before the conventions.
I don't know who the winner be. I guarantee they will both blame Lester Holt in one direction or the other.
Well, and we've seen Trump actually on one-on-ones. He doesn't do very well. With the president of Mexico, he didn't talk about the wall. When he went to that church in Flint and the pastor told him to stop doing politics, he backed down. But later, Trump wins the Twitter. He's like a Twitter thug. I mean, he goes out there and
that's a good point. We'll end on that point. A lot will depend on what happens on social media after the debate in the echo chamber in the days after. Thank you.